it's game week, especially when it's the first one of the year. I think that we have our team in general. Obviously, our entire organization is excited for the ball game. It goes without saying, anytime you open up a new stadium, as we are with Husky Stadium, it's exciting for our fans. I think we're expecting a sellout for this game, which is great. I heard the number already coming in is over 300 votes for the Harbor, which is what makes this place so unique. Everything we're hearing from the dog pack is that everybody's coming back early. They want to be part of this, so it makes for a special night. I think that our staff and our players have done a really nice job of dealing with the move-in, because anytime there's move-in, there's natural distractions. I think that they've all handled them really well. I thought this morning's practice was very focused, energized, detail-oriented, and I think the team's hungry to go play. And that's a great place to be in. We know this is a tremendous opponent in Boise. They'll come in prepared, ready to go. I'm sure their fans are trying to get every seat they can get a hold of to get into the game. It should be a tremendous environment for the opening weekend of college football.
Questions?
Steve, how much does this Boise State team change from what you saw in the Vegas Bowl last year?
Well, I'll probably better answer it after the game, whatever changes they made. But they've lost some guys naturally, but they have a lot of their returners back, especially the quarterback at Southwick. The wide receiving core is a very veteran group, the running back. A couple of the key components to the defense, the two safeties who are really nice players, a couple of the defensive linemen. And then what Coach Peterson has always done is played a lot of players. So even though some of these guys weren't starters a year ago, they played quite a bit of football. I think they'll look and feel like a traditional Boise State team. I'm sure they're going to have new wrinkles for us when the ball game rolls around, and that's our job to try to figure out as the game moves on.
Is it hard to go over for your players all the pomp and circumstance and focus on football?
I think our guys have been awesome, and you'll have to ask them, when they get in here. I think that they've been great in dealing with the potential distractions. I think they've been really focused. Football's priority number one. We're obviously humbled and honored that we've been able to move into a new facility and a new stadium, but I think that their focus has been tremendous. I couldn't be prouder of them, quite honestly. They've handled it extremely well. I think we're taking advantage of some of the amenities that we have at our disposal now and some of the functionality, but that hasn't become a distraction at all. And I think that they understand, and I've touched on this before with you guys, the stadium's awesome, and the stadium's great, and the new Jumbotron, and the lights, and the wrapping, and all of everything that's going to be with it. What's really going to make the play special is how we play, and the product that we put on the field. And our guys understand that. I think that's what makes them even more so excited about Saturday night, is that they finally get to go play again. It's been a lot of 9 months it's been a 9 months with a lot of question marks and a lot of, well, who is this team? Are they mentally tough? Can they handle being in tight games against good teams? Are they consistent enough? And I think that's really put a chip on their shoulder, and I think that they're eager to go out and prove that they can be that team.
What was the process of deciding that Boise was the team you wanted the first game in?
We were just trying to get a quality opponent for our fans, and we went around the country and looked at some really good programs. Boise happened to be one of those programs that has been consistent and relevant in recent years, and they obviously were eager and wanted the opportunity to come play in this place at that game. And some other schools were as well, and some others weren't, and then we had to make a decision. And we just felt like, with the Northwest ties, with the proximity of the fan base, we didn't know we were going to be playing them in the Vegas Bowl the year before at the time. So it just, it worked out the way it did, and I think it's a really quality opponent for us and for them, and it's a great way to kick off the season.
What advantages, Steve, or peculiarities are there to opening the team just basically last week?
I think that, you know some of their personnel, some of the players they have on their roster, some of the tendencies of their play callers, whether it's offense or defense. The disadvantages are they know the same things about us, and so you try not to overthink things. You try to stay disciplined in what you do, and stay attentive to the details so that you can perform at a high level. I think this is probably more likened to what the NFL deals with, and they play two division rivals every year, and sometimes a third time in the playoffs. And so you try to stick to your guns and what you do well, focus on the things that you do well, and try to eliminate some of the things that they do well and force their hand to do some different things.
And philosophically, do you even schedule in an opener opponent spring, summer, or you just wait and leave that until end of
We waited till the third week of training camp. You know, we focused on ourselves, and we needed to. There was a lot of things within our own system that we needed to focus on. We waited till a week ago at this time, and I think it was a good week because there were a lot of wrinkles that needed to be ironed out after Saturday scrimmage. The coaches, I thought, did a nice job of focusing on those things. We came out this morning in a very detailed practice and fixed a lot of them. We weren't perfect yet, but that's what this week's all about, to get to a point to where our guys are ready for the performance. And that's what we've been talking about. We are in preparation for a performance on Saturday night. That is one that is electric, and one that our fans and college football can say, wow, that was a great performance. Now we know that Boise's doing the same thing, and so when those two performances clash, hopefully we can out-execute their ability to execute, and we know that they do that at a high level, and that's what makes the game, and that's why we play it.
Sark, is this important, especially on defense, given the fact that this is going to be an electric environment and everything, to try to recreate as much of what you anticipate as possible?
We try to make practice as chaotic as possible, and that's forever since I've been here, and then as much now as ever before. We try to make it as chaotic as possible with the crowd noise, with the tempo, with the substitutions, with the physicality, so that game days can be a little bit more calm in their own mind, and that's for every position on the board. So our defense is no different. Hopefully when they get out there, they can handle the setting. I think they will. I think that we've put them in a lot of extreme circumstances, and they've gotten better at responding to those extreme circumstances, and the crowd noise will be an issue, and we need to communicate really well defensively to make sure we have our gap integrity, to make sure that our coverage schemes are in the right spot and we're making the right calls, and not be surprised by that. Now, I don't think we will be. We've been working on crowd noise with our defense since the start of training camp.
So swap Patchy and reload back.
It just felt right, something that, for me, in putting Ben there early on was, one, could he do it? Two, if something happened to Micah, can he go play over there? And I think we realize he can do it. I think we're better served right now with the experience that Micah has as playing left tackle. But now we know we have a really good backup left tackle, and we could supplement it right tackle with a James Toe or potentially even a Dexter Charles over there. So I just felt better about our rotation the way it is. And I think Micah's confidence has spending a year playing left tackle against really good rushers will be beneficial for us.
Sark, how does it feel just going into this opener compared to other years? Because it just seems like everything since you've been here has kind of been geared towards building the program, getting the new stadium, getting depth, and you're not even having to play as many pure freshmen. How does this year feel different going into Boise State with everything?
I like our depth. And our depth this year is night and day compared to where we've ever been, whether that's on offense, defense, or special teams. I like the maturity of this team. I think one thing that I've been impressed with, and I told the guys this, is when I've asked them to do something, they respond to it. It's not like I have to go out and pull teeth. When I've asked for more energy, I've gotten it. When I've asked for more physicality, I've gotten it. When I've asked our guys to stay off the ground, I've gotten it. When I've asked them to eliminate the distractions and focus with laser focus on the task at hand, I've gotten it. And that's what's really feels so different to me. And the leaders have helped the younger players understand that aspect of it. And so I've been impressed by that.
There's going to obviously be a lot of pressure on Keith his final year. What have you seen at him in camp so far?
Well, I think you guys want to put pressure on him. I don't know if he necessarily puts pressure on himself, and I don't think we have either. I think he's going to go out and play really good football. I think that nothing I've seen over the last, through spring ball and through training camp appears to me a guy playing under pressure. I think there's the natural butterflies we all get when we go to perform, and if you don't get them, then check your pulse. That's we're going to come down that tunnel Saturday night at 7 o'clock for a 7:06 kickoff, and we're going to have 100 guys with that little nervous anxiety. But that's part of being a competitor. I think the one thing for Keith is to quiet things down around him, focus on his job, and play the football that he's capable of playing. And when he does, he'll be great, and that's what I expect him to be.
With all-
Is Austin's position on the depth chart an indication that he's healthy enough to start and he's expected to play?
He's not cleared to play at all. This, if you guys read it properly, is a post-training camp depth chart. He was limited this morning's practice, so he's not been cleared to play physically as of yet at all.
Is there any plan for Deontay Cooper with everything he's gone through? Kind of maybe have like a little moment for him in the beginning of the game. Maybe any plan?
We're playing to win the game. Period. The special moments and the things that come along with winning football games, those things come naturally. I think we're all very proud of Deontay of what he's accomplished to get to this point, and Jesse, and Holy, and Colin Tanagawa, and Lawrence Lagafuena, that they've worked their way back to get to this point. When Deontay gets his first carry, our team isn't going to give him a standing ovation. They're watching him carry the ball every day in practice. They want to see him break a tackle and keep the ball high and tight and try to score a touchdown and then get up and do it again. And that's just the mentality that we've embraced with all of these guys. I'll give him a big old high five when he comes off because I know how hard he worked, but I'll leave the ceremonies up to our marketing department for the coin toss and all that kind of stuff.
Steve,